you can get something that is like 75 MDCs.
I'm able to get some armor back.
Which is better than all like the armor she used for it.
All right.
She made it better by tearing it down and refitting it for you. Just
I literally just pictured you as a spaceship and retrofitted you.
All right.
You're welcome.
It's like, I mean, you can't just do the same thing. You got to improve on this shoddy human design.
Yes.
And you were able to equip it with the like surviving electrical systems of the all true armor, and it probably works.
Good. Probably works is good enough.
Yep.
She's gonna, like, when you wake up, she's gonna warn you multiple times to not let the electrical systems get hit too many times. Like, I don't know either of your technology all that well, so I connected 2 red wires together. Normally, you don't do that.
Yeah, it's probably something that Rudge wants to go through himself once he's feeling more up to it. But
There's some version of an infinite loop somewhere in your armor. Don't activate that.
and then you also are familiar enough with so the thing about I guess the most important thing about this is there's one coolant system. It is currently keeping Rudge from dying of heat stroke. So you would need to take it out of the trash can and put it into the armor, and then somehow get him into the armor.
Actually, that reminds me, like, what temperatures can you actually, like, survive? I'm sure we've had this discussion before.
20 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's either 20 degrees or minus 20 degrees.
No, it's heat stroke occurs at 20.
20, okay. Yep. So 20 degrees Fahrenheit, below freezing, he needs to be kept at.
Don't suppose they have a giant refrigerator or freezer here.
Well, Dr. Torres did kind of make one, jury-rigging a bunch of stuff together in her lab, but obviously it's not portable, and he is currently not portable.
Oh yeah, because he's, like, outside. He's, like, stuck to that thing.
Yeah. Unless you can figure out how to remove him from it. I don't believe you have made any attempts to do so.
No, I haven't.
Because
I let the
figure that
doctor
it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, like, generally if I'm stabbed into a thing, that removing me is probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
Especially if I put myself to it. Well.
And honestly, like, well, no, Will probably wouldn't ask anyone about it.
I mean, she asked Zero a little bit. She did ask, like, whether he was going to survive like that.
Zero would probably assess it as more dangerous to try and remove it at this point.
Yeah, I think that's what we did. Is like we agreed that it was like Willow doesn't know enough, no one knows enough. Better just to leave him as a heap on the floor.
Amputation and cauterization would be the safest thing to do.
Yeah, Rudge, I'm gonna turn you into Anakin.
What?
I'm gonna Darth Vader your ass. You're gonna lose your legs and your left arm.
What? What's wrong with my left arm?
It's attached to a big old spider.
Did you grab it with your left arm or your right arm?
No, I got it with my left, I think. But what's wrong with my left arm?
Well, is he conscious yet, or?
No.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, that's the problem. You're not here to argue with me. No. Does anybody here have like any idea, like at all, even a guess? Because like this is way outside of Willow's area of expertise.
About what? Like what the fuck it's doing?
Like, if we say, you know, ripped his arm off, because isn't that thing like gooped up around his hand?
It's less like goop and more like sort of twisting. You know those like puzzles with
like those, like a finger trap
and stuff.
Like the finger trap things.
Yeah, kind of like that. It's just like a bunch of sort of twisting sort of nails, basically, that are just sort of wrapping around and like weaving around his hand and wrist.
Am I able to like put my hand like anywhere near like underneath his or like scoot it over at all?
It's physically attached to the dome. Like these nails are going up through his fingers and like hand.
And his hand is on like the very top.
His hand is on a protrusion coming out of like sort of the middle
Is there another
part of the dome.
protrusion?
No, not that you can see.
Damn.
However, all the like glowing panels and stuff are still all around.
Oh yeah.
Which,
Well,
you're not sure what those do.
yeah. I mean, like, I have read sensory equipment, but not for super duper alien technology.
This doesn't even register. It doesn't even look like sensory equipment.
Yeah. There's
Maybe
like,
it's not.
yeah.
It's
Exactly.
probably not really close enough to be called sensory equipment, even if it fulfills a similar function.
Although technically, I do have weapon systems as well, and I saw a weapon.
That's true.
I mean, they do have the negative 40% for alien technology for a reason on skill checks. I would say because Willow has like no knowledge of this race and like how things function. Like, I'm gonna ask Zero whether he thinks like Rudge will regain consciousness anytime soon or not.
I believe Rudge's orders to Zero were to keep him here, and something about just watching him and keep making sure he doesn't die. And Zero is probably pretty sure that he's going to regain consciousness.
Okay, so he thinks that he will?
With no evidence to back it up, other than the fact that the other one, he passed out for like a minute the first time.
Okay.
And it's now been several hours.
Has his vitals improved at all?
They are stable.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is not like a good area Willow likes to like interfere in, because fuck if she understands mammal biology. What's the situation like? So the coalition's pulled back and kind of regrouped. Is like there any communication between?
Yeah. So after a little while, you're working on the armor. That kind of occupies you for a little bit, and you sort of tune out, all the goings on. As other more tactically minded people are working on that. But there is a group that eventually comes up to the room that you guys are in, including so Dr. Torres has been here the entire time, just kind of like watching from the background and helping where she can. But coming in is Captain Phoenix and Father Castor and a couple of the Dawnspire like guard lieutenants, and they all sort of like look towards Rudge as he is there, like prostrated across the controls, and then over to Willow, and Captain Phoenix says, he still has not recovered, I see.
No, it does not look like it.
Concerning. Well, I'm sure that whatever strain that was put upon his body through channeling the power of the travelers will be recovered in time. And
you heard it. The DM says I'll be fine.
No, that was the Captain Phoenix.
No, that was DM's voice. I know it. You speak.
Official NPC of the DM.
Yep, exactly.
Sure. Father Castor says, well, thanks to Rudge, we do have time, it seems. I'm not sure how long, but the Coalition seem to be regrouping and deciding what course of action they will take next.
Do you guys have any plans?
What's that?
Do they have any plans?
We have the ability to evacuate still, of course. But I think that perhaps now would be a good time to give diplomacy a second shot. Now that we have proven ourselves inconvenient. This may not work. The Coalition may just see us as more of a threat and
you might go from
more forces, but
you might go from being an inconvenient truth to being a problem.
I fear that we have already crossed that line one way or another, and it won't hurt to try and forestall them further. It will, at the very least, give us some opportunity to evacuate those who do not wish to be caught in the middle of what I'm sure would turn into a bloody engagement.
Right.
Other Custer, as everyone's kind of mulling over the options, he walks over to the dome and kind of kneels down next to Rudge, and he puts one of his hands on the glowing surface of the runes, and another on like Rudge's shoulder, and just kind of like looks at him contemplatively.
What's going on? I'm fine.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting up anytime soon. The problem that I have with diplomacy with the Coalition right now is they've made it abundantly clear that they are unwilling to accept any form of heresy or non-humans.
I don't imagine that it will be permanent, but they did tolerate Tolkien for a time. Of course, we all know how that ended eventually, but
I also imagine that Tolkien had many more fearful subjects rather than just the tower.
that is true. Although,
Go ahead.
I'm sure you two witnessed the power of this thing.
We did.
I have never seen something to equal it in all of my days. And he says it in a tone that's like not exactly reverent. It's more there is a tone there's sort of a hint of like uncertainty that comes along with it.
Yeah, like we've been worshiping this thing, but is this actually just a giant space weapon?
Just a slight hint.
Yeah.
But it's there.
Well, Father, I assure you that whatever beings placed us on this planet, they definitely had ideas for protecting what was theirs. Whether this is purely defensive or not, I can't tell you that, but the fact that it took this much energy to produce 2 shots, I imagine they're a long-thinking race. I don't think anything that they would drop on this planet would be something as simple as a weapon of destruction. It seems that this thing is activating almost in self-defense, like it's sensing a coming storm. The fact that it seems to be in some way, shape, or form attached to the mind suggests that, well, it might know more than we do.
Of that I am sure.
You have, I am unfamiliar with all the people and whatnot within your society, but do you have anyone that has mind powers within your settlement here? Someone that could perhaps try and read Rudge's mind while he's unconscious?
There have been those who passed through, but we have no one of significant psychic abilities. Dr. Torres speaks up and says, the dog boys have some sense for those sorts of things, but their abilities are very minor compared to.
Yeah, we heard that they were mostly used for tracking, right?
Yes, sensory abilities related to psychic and magical phenomena.
Have you guys noticed anything else changing within the tower since the weapon's been activated?
Captain Phoenix shakes his head and says, "We've walked through and haven't seen anything noteworthy. Since we're in there. So this map. Did I bring this map up last session? I can't even remember.
No, you didn't.
So.
Okay, well, yeah, this is the map.
This is a map.
This is in fact a map.
The mapped places of the tower so far.
I went down and over.
Yep.
Oh, and then
so all the white lines are the power grid that Rudge was inside.
All right. Now, I did send down one of my little.
Hallways.
I did send down my drone down one of the offshoots. Also, I thought.
Yep. Those are the offshoots up here.
Oh, wait. Oh, I see.
Yep.
Wow.
And this is to scale.
Oh. Neat. So where did I do all the things that turned it on when I did?
You did that down at the bottom here, the core.
Oh, down there. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So
deep
then
below the ground.
Then I had to fly as fast as I could straight up while within the wires.
You went all the way to the top.
Whee!
Yeah, so did anything change in the tower? Yeah, so Phoenix says, we've walked through the halls and there does not seem to be anything new per se, but some of my men and I myself, there seems to be, I don't know how to put it, just a feeling that the temple is more awake, I guess you could say.
Actually, that's a really good note. Am I detecting on any of my sensors like any sort of like EMF or electrical signals now that this thing's up and going, or it was?
Nope.
Okay.
Not to this thing. There is no electricity going through this control thing.
Yeah, I imagine. I mean, just in general, she probably would have been like, "Huh, that was energy that came out. Let's see if this thing's."
all you see is like some thermal, just like the light coming out is a little bit warmer. And obviously from Rudge's adventure, you know that there's a lot of latent thermal energy contained inside of this.
Yeah, actually, does actually any infrared sensors actually show that? Or has it all been like, because the tower is obviously pretty good at getting energy.
Pretty contained. The light of the symbols does actually glow, and that does radiate a small amount of heat. Like they're warm if you put your hand up to them.
Okay.
But not like significantly so.
Yeah.
No more warm than like an incandescent bulb would be.
Yeah. Well, I definitely am always for diplomacy, but I can't speak for your people, Father, as much as I would like to. This is your flock, and I do believe you should be the one leading the diplomacy. As I've mentioned before, if it saves your people, you are more than welcome to always deny us, our separate group. If it means putting you in danger by you acknowledging that we're allies or anything, I am okay. We've always been okay with you denying that we're allies, but with the fact that I have assaulted them directly, have defended yourselves quite remarkably, I don't know how well us claiming to be a pair is a good idea.
He kind of frowns and says, well, I think that the point at which we can be flying under the radar, as you put it, is beyond us after this display. If I know the Coalition, they will not forget something like this. I do not believe that we are capable of facing them in our current condition. I know that you are mustering your forces, but...
Yeah, I mean, my forces are minuscule compared to what they're...
Perhaps if we are able to get time, we could gather our strength. The travelers would give us more knowledge, more power to protect this place and ourselves with. I believe that that is our best option at this point, unless you have other ideas or some way.
I mean, I fully agree. Stalin
driving the
are the best. No, the problem is they brought actual forces. I was expecting a small contingency, but they have an actual minor invading army. So that's a lot different than what I was expecting to.
Like they're all underage,
come into.
Or they all have pickaxes.
These forces would probably be enough to threaten, if not invade, El Paso or an even larger city.
Yes, the Death's Head transport with their contingency was bad enough, but the fact that they brought along one of their super carriers that concerns me far beyond anything else here. I suppose the one thing I could do is, while you attempt to diplomacy, I could attempt to fly south and see if El Paso is doing better. But I don't even know if
Sorry
that would...
about the dog, by the way.
every time I talk.
There's somebody new here, and she doesn't like new people.
I understand.
I think she's going into her quiet room now. What were you saying, El Paso?
I mean, I could potentially, while you attempt to use diplomacy to stall them, one thing I could attempt to do is fly down to El Paso and see if they're faring any better. And see if they can maybe lend some aid.
It would be good to see what situation they have themselves in there, yes.
Yeah, because the reason why I turned around, I attempted to warn them that the Coalition was on their way, but when I detected their super carrier, I got the fuck out of there.
Indeed. I would like to request that you remain here for the time until some action occurs here one way or another. We may very well need you to assist in evacuation if things go poorly.
Of course. And consider my drones disposable. That's what they are. If you have dangerous positions that you know can't be held, they will happily hold those positions.
He nods. Dr. Torres
all my drones look sad.
and says, if you're seriously considering retreating from the temple, Father, I would highly recommend that we devise some way to... I would say destroy, but I am not sure if we have the capability to do so. we cannot allow them to gain access to this place. It would be a disaster for all of their enemies, including those like your city, who do not wish to be subjugated, and that is their only crime.
You know, on that serious note, do you guys have any forms of, like, mass destructive devices? Like, in all seriousness, like, if you activated, like, you know, say, a nuclear warhead inside this place, that might piss off the tower enough to wake up.
It might be enough to do something, yes.
Like, I don't know if you guys have it. I never considered you guys might have something like that, but in all seriousness, if you do...
Captain Phoenix says, well, we don't have anything of that scale, I'm afraid. We have a number of... a handful of very old long-range missiles that they were in the air base that was here, and we found them. I'm not even sure if they work, to be honest, and they're ancient. But they are not of the magnitude of bomb that you were talking about. Dr. Torres kind of considers and says, it still might be enough to dissuade. I would like to look into that option if things go that way. At the very least, we could give the coalition a bit of a parting gift.
They have. Yeah, I don't have a lot of ideas for how to escape the situation. If I did, I would give you any and all of my ideas. Unfortunately, the coalition has us backed into a very neat little corner here. They outgun us and outman us. I do believe that pissing off this tower is probably going to be our best bet. My one concern that I've had since we've arrived here, and I've expressed this concern to you before, is that I'm almost certain I could piss off the tower. I just don't know what will happen after that. Because, say this tower is capable of greater, even more terrible things than nuking a flying fortress. If we anger it, what is to say it doesn't keep going?
It is not an option that I would like to take, Father Castro says gravely. Let us pursue this diplomacy route and hope that it buys us some more time.
Do you guys have any sensors from this tower to take a peek at any of the other towers to see if they're doing anything?
We do have an observation post on the peak of the tower, yes.
Has anybody taken a look to see if they've changed at all? Because I find it odd that those other towers haven't activated at all, even when this tower was under stress.
I thought of that too, Dr. Torres says. No obvious signs from any of them. Although our sensors are limited at this range, I would be interested to go and observe them up close, but obviously that can wait.
Not a good time for that.
More pressing concerns.
Can I figure anything out in these dreams?
We'll
I'm
get
just
to
wondering
that.
if I'm getting. Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm wondering if I'm getting.
We'll get to your dreams.
All right, cool, good.
Yeah, so Father Castor sort of pats Rudge on the shoulder one more time and stands up slowly and says, "Very well, I will establish communications with the coalition and see if we can convince them to reconsider their position. And
I implore you to reconsider."
yep. And him and Phoenix head out of the room. Is there anything else that Willow would like to do in the time being, as you're kind of just like waiting right now to see what is gonna happen?
He has.
If the fighting is gonna start again, or if something else.
Does she have like Rudge's suit done-ish?
Yeah. I mean, she can tweak it a little bit, maybe fine-tune it, make it a little bit more well-fitted or whatever.
No,
Well, no, I guess there is the question of
yeah.
Transplanting him into it.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. The problem is Willow wouldn't want to remove him unless he seemed like he needed to be.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you could try and just like put the armor around him and exclude his like hand.
Yeah.
And the coolant system is pretty good. Like, it doesn't even need a enclosed environmental system to function.
Yeah, it's just like a big ass fan.
Yeah. So, like, as long as most of his body is covered by the environmental suit, it should keep him comfy.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll do my best to get him into that. I don't have any specific ideas. Willow might of how to get him in there.
Yeah, I'm sure you can accomplish it with Zero's help.
Yeah.
Just probably a little bit awkward. Although it is easier because he has no legs, so you don't have to worry about that part.
Yay!
And phalanges aren't fighting me.
Yep. All right, so several more hours pass, and evening comes. I can't remember what time it was when this all went down, but I think it was probably like around noon, kind of like foggy or like cloudy and sort of stormy. And so night comes. Later in the night, you receive word again from Father Castor that the coalition is neutrally receptive to hearing them out, shall we say. And he's sort of in ongoing communication with their ambassador, which apparently there is a coalition ambassador that was aboard that mobile fortress. So that is ongoing. You sit and wait for Rudge to regain consciousness or do something. And, just occupy yourself by thinking of your projects or fiddling with whatever you happen to have, what have you.
I got a question, actually. Did Willow ever see, like, I was now thinking, didn't another room open up when Willow wasn't around? Because I thought Rudge explored a room that she had.
Yeah, there was... it was not this one. I think it was this one, the Hall of Weapons. Also, I'm pretty sure I don't know if she ever saw the control room that you're currently in.
She suddenly realized, like, oh, this is new.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, you could walk around there. And
she'd probably just like take notes.
You definitely have time to do that.
Whatever crazy ass things she can think of.
Yeah, eventually Dr. Torres leaves and goes back to her quarters because she's a human and she has to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, Willow would probably honestly try and take a power nap because I mean, like realistically, she only needs a few hours
Yeah.
of sleep, so she might as well get some of it.
Mm-hmm. So the morning comes, and Rudge is still in a coma, seemingly, and this continues for several more hours. But before we get to that, Rudge, you are not really in a state of consciousness for this period of time. Sort of like waking dream kind of feeling. Also, for you, this time that's going by is more like minutes rather than hours.
Oh.
The state you're in, like I described it before, it's just like there's a lot of images and not many of them are very coherent, but you just get this feeling of like vast empty expanses and like strange sort of like warping, sort of spatial warping and stuff. And the main through line between it all is there these like tall, like thin, sort of eerily elegant aliens that have like the gray skin. I definitely described them before, but I think this was a while ago. They're like the gray man kind of alien, except they're just like really tall and like elegant.
Okay.
If you think like XCOM 2's sectoids,
yep,
just like a little bit more refined.
Okay.
That kind of thing. And there's just like flashes of them like surrounding you, circling you, and observing you. And they're always just like in sort of a semicircle looking down at you.
Well, am I whole in this coma?
You're about as whole as everything else,
Okay.
which is to say kind of fragmented and not more of like an abstract concept than a body.
Okay.
Um,
well, I don't know if like I can speak, but I attempt to greet them.
Yeah, I mean, you can form sort of the equivalent of telepathy, but I mean, basically speaking, yeah.
Yep.
You're not sure if there's anything that can respond to you, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I try to acknowledge these gray men and see if any sort of response comes back.
Give me a save or psionics.
All right. That's just a 20 with no bonus. Hiya! 14.
Okay.
One
what are you gonna say to them?
Oh, I'm gonna. I don't know. Is English the universal language?
Doesn't really matter what language you're speaking.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I'll just use my own then. So in all true, and I'll say, I'm just trying to think what I would, normally call other aliens when I do encounter them. And just greetings, mysterious travelers. Is there any knowledge you can share with me?
Don't touch our shit.
You hear not so much speech, but just like a pressure on your mind. Similar to the like probe that you encountered before, but this is more like all encompassing. Just like waves crashing against your consciousness.
Oh god,
And
I'm sharing too much.
it's like a million whispers in a million different languages just sort of surrounding you in response, and you're like not really able to pick out specifics from that, or it's very difficult to. You have to sort of strain, and you feel like you're close, so close, but you don't get anything from whatever response, if that was even a response.
And I say, not all at once, please. It's too overwhelming. And 1 second, I'm going to bring my ice cream back.
Okay.
I didn't want to interrupt, but I just wanted it because, you know, it's like the whole like Black Tower and everything. I just picture Chris Tucker. Never touch a black man's radio.
Alright. What was that? You making a joke?
Yeah, I was like, I just wanted you to be like, you know, you said to give him advice or whatever, and all I can picture is just Chris Tucker being like, "Don't you ever touch a black man's radio."
Perfect. What's wrong with you?
I didn't want to interrupt your scene.
Yes, thank you.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I mean, you touched their radio and they fucked you up.
Oh, hell no.
All that was the radio dial, and you fucked up some ships now.
Yep.
That's why you don't touch it.
All right. But yeah, I just ask him to tone it down a bit.
So you feel the same sensation, like crashing over you.
Oh god, they didn't listen.
As they just continue to sort of observe and focusing again, you feel like you hear something a little bit more, something like a word.
Oh, is it bird?
It kind of like slowly sort of makes your way into your murky consciousness and solidifies there. It's just
don't be run or leave.
Oh, they're gonna call you Wheels.
Nope.
No legs, lol.
Lamau.
It says subject.
Oh.
And there's more, but
okay.
You aren't able to decipher it quite.
Alright. I don't really want to, but this is for science. So, I don't know. I try and stop resisting because they want me to subject to them. Or I am a subject, either way. But I'm going to I'm going to try and just let them in more, because considering I felt like the resistance or whatever.
Give me another save for science.
Okay. Bad idea, but doing it anyway. Yes, 3.
3. Okay. So you force yourself to let down your mental guards.
Yep.
And
bad idea.
do a fairly okay job as far as you're concerned. It seems like your subconscious still is like instinctively reacts, and without sort of actively defending it, like things break through, but it's not pleasant. It's like painful. Like you feel like every every one of your nerves just kind of like prickle with sensation as the this consciousness just sort of swirls through your mind. You find yourself kind of like getting lost in a sea of thought for a second. Like you don't even remember like Rudge. You're just in this place as just a consciousness.
Oh no. I can't lose Rudge. He means the world to me.
You kind of like struggle in this sea, trying to find identity again. And during this time, you actually are able to hear a little bit more of their speech, if you want to call it that.
Yep,
a few more words.
Give me them words.
As subject aware. It speaks. Beginning. Pause. Some word you can't understand. Process. And with that, you feel like the overwhelming sensation sort of reach a climax, and you regain consciousness with a start.
Oh god!
The jolt of pain from your mind quickly like spider webs down your body and acutely to your hand, as the painkillers that you were on have worn off at this point. And you realize that there are a bunch of metal things piercing through your hand, and it's like really freaking painful.
Oh! What the hell is this doing in me? Why hasn't anyone removed this? Zero, where are you?
Zero is there.
Get this the hell out of my hand.
I assume Willow is probably there as well. Although I guess I'll leave that up to Blaine how quickly she will notice Rudge being around, like active.
She's probably playing a game of solitary in her head.
I mean, like, it's pretty obvious, but Willow's pretty oblivious to obvious things. So.
Yeah, like I imagine it probably takes like a good solid 14, 15 seconds of him screaming. And she's just kind of realized that humans and these other mammals make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
So she kind of ignores
it out.
Yeah, it just kind of blinks out until it keeps going for a while. Then she'll look over and be happy that Rudge is awake. We didn't want to disturb you from your slumber.
Oh, by letting me sleep with this thing in my arm?
The other option was amputation.
Okay, thanks for letting me sleep.
You're welcome.
Anyway, did we win?
Wait.
What's going on? Oh god, this hurts. Get me some meds.
Zero's
readying the meds.
Yep, perfect.
We need to get this directly into your system now and just stabs it into your brain.
Yep.
Just immediately.
Yep, that's fine. Thank you.
Right through your eye.
Yep. I just open up my jugular.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, the situation is not great.
Oh. So I didn't destroy them all?
You destroyed a lot of them. That was pretty cool.
All right.
Unfortunately, I didn't actually get to witness a good chunk of it. I was kind of occupied.
What were you doing?
Well, I was attempting what's that? A ruse. Apparently, I'm not exactly the most military-minded. Apparently, they seem to see through my ruse pretty easily.
Yes, you're not a good liar.
But it didn't matter. You shot their first ship that I was aboard, and then I just decided to melt to their floor and leave.
Well done.
And crashed their ship in the process.
Yeah. I may have made their ship crash, which is, I guess, a win for us.
Oh.
But I doubt many of them were seriously harmed in the crash. They were all prepared for my antics ahead of time.
Oh god. More pain meds. Oh god.
You are already at the maximum dosage allowable.
Oh, this again.
They
All
will
right.
kick in a couple of minutes.
All right, fine.
But then I don't know if you saw their super carrier that they were sending there this way. But
Did I?
The last thing you saw.
Yep. I think
You
so.
also remember being shot by it.
I believe I was shot at by that thing. Or did it hit me?
It hit you.
Oh boy. So yeah, it hit. So I was shot by that.
Willow, it hit the tower.
Yeah, no. She's just letting him like cycle through how he wants to describe it because he's probably realizing that he was the tower.
Yep. Yeah. So that's like I was kind of like realizing that too. Like it shot at me, but wait,
Yeah.
it hit me. How could it hit me? I was in the tower.
It hit the tower.
Oh, I was in the tower, but I was the tower.
Yeah.
Oh, this is weird.
Yeah, let you process that. But yeah, so you shot it and you did mess it up, but then you went and turned yourself into a puddle. Or I guess you're kind of like
It's been about 20 hours since then, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of time.
I guess I check my sensors and stuff and be like, 20 hours. My God.
Is he still
For you, it's
attached?
like 5 minutes. Yep.
I made you some new armor, but you
It seems to have like slowed at about the like wrist area.
okay. Yeah, that's
Like it doesn't really seem to be going like further through like down his body. It's just kind of like encapsulating his hand into like this sort of like gauntlet.
Hey, you and the tower seem to be mating of some kind.
Connected, yes. I'm somehow communicating with...
Oh, that's on an Avatar movie.
I'm somehow communicating with the travelers. Or is
They're...
Is that what they call them?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is what I believe to be the travelers. They are somewhat surprised I am aware of them.
Tower's pretty obvious. That's weird.
Well, I mean them.
Do you know what they look like? Do they have forms actually, or?
Have you encountered species 387? I'm just that's the classic gray man.
Yes, actually, I saw an image of that outside the tower, or outside the very first town I arrived in here.
All right. Basically that, just a little taller, a little more brain. I don't know.
The only other like recorded instance of the travelers was the Father Castor witnessed them physically when he initially came to the tower.
Oh,
I forgot about that.
like a vision.
No, like it happened.
Oh.
They murked some bandits.
Oh, they were actually here.
Yeah, if you there's a handout.
Oh wow.
So the Path of the Travelers.
Okay.
That's the story of the of their Bible, their Testament, basically their Old Testament.
Cool. So they're so they're not like, this super like
They're not the ancients on Stargate.
where
They never make an appearance.
Yeah, they actually do stuff. They do activities. They get their hands dirty, it seems.
Well, they use ranged weapons. They don't want to get dirty.
Well, no, and they have super ultra brain power, so I'm sure they use that also.
So
I can't communicate with them very well, it seems. Whenever I try, I go into a coma for apparently 20 hours.
I think that was more of the energy being sapped. I'm almost starting to suspect that perhaps this tower somehow focused your energy to unleash the blast.
Well, I did try to focus on the ship. I knew there was some sort of energy to release, I didn't know how or what. But
Yeah, it was like wait, I can't remember. Did Willow actually see the beam?
Yeah, she saw
Okay.
the second beam because
I couldn't remember if she was
so
distracted.
she
or
saw
not.
the energy sort of like gather along the rim of the dish.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was just mad 'cause I don't have a recording of it. That's what it was.
Yeah, because you have your armor.
Yep.
Now you just have like the
armor.
shaky cell phone footage from some random person in
Yeah, like it's all
non-smart
blurry and for
it's
some
like out of
reason.
focus, and half of it is just like pointed at the ground during like the best parts.
Yep.
well, I'm sure Zero took a video.
Well,
Oh,
Zero's inside with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, there was no like way you could look. Oh, it's all solid. Yeah, there's no outlook.
No.
Well, I'm starting to wonder that. No, you're still connected. Are you able to communicate with them currently?
I'm not sure. They said something about a process, and I awoke to quite a lot of pain.
Are they assimilating you?
I looked down, and
Yeah, I was gonna say we both look at your hand at the same time.
perhaps I did hear them say
You could
I'm.
upgrade from the trash can.
I did hear them call me a subject.
Interesting. So they are. Huh.
If I try to communicate again, I'm not sure what would happen. I asked them to share knowledge, and it just caused my brain pain.
When you got your hand stabbed, did you like immediately start seeing stuff, or
Was that what let me become the tower?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just say that I believe that's what's let me control the energy and become the tower itself.
Linked to your nervous system.
are you able to like close your eyes and concentrate and like look through the tower again?
I'll give it a shot.
You give it a shot. When you close your eyes and kind of like think, you're aware of sort of like something, like a little knot in the back of your mind. But when you focus your attention towards it, you just feel this like excruciating pain lance through your head.
Oh God! No!
Repressed daddy issues. I get it.
I don't believe I can. Either they've cut me off from it.
Like, there's something there, but it's not. You're not able to access it right now.
Yeah, I don't. Either they've cut me off from it, from the inside, or it's just too painful to access.
Right.
But no. I need to lie down in my can.
It's kind of hard to lie down because your arm is like halfway up this dome, so you can only really lie on the dome.
We'll give him some like chairs.
Yeah.
I'm going to just float weightless then.
Willow
Okay,
will do
yeah,
like
that works.
Willow will do like the Men in Black like table scene where she just drags a table across the entire tower.
Okay, that works. Cause I forgot, like my weightless is mental. So nope, I hurt too much to use powers.
Yeah. So you're just laying on a table.
Yep, bring me that table.
There's like no table in this room, so you go up to like the upper room and like slowly like drag it down the ramp.
Yes.
That's what I was saying.
Yep. Thank you.
It gets like stuck halfway down, so you have to like rotate it a bunch.
Thank you.
Pivot. You just hear her saying like pivot.
Pivot.
Yeah.
So, what do we want to attempt with these travelers and/or the tower? Or my arm. I don't want to sever the connection, but I fear I must eventually.
The most pressing matter, even though this tower is very curious, is that the coalition, if they press forward, we will be forced to fight or retreat, and either way, they have an advantage. Honestly, I think you being attached is one of the best things right now, because if for some reason they sense the tower in danger, or if your biosigns start sensing danger, your fight or flight response kick in, maybe they can sense that link.
Perhaps.
Or I mean the other option is we cut your arm off. Or, actually, from an outside perspective, if we like poke at like little things that are wrapping around him, do they react to it?
No, they're made of metal, and they're pretty solid.
Okay.
So what happens if I do a little